Good morning, everybody. So today, our not so busy day turned into our busy day already. We got Roberto that I just showed you in the 35 ton. He's towing a 2020 Peterbilt from the TA to Fontana. We also just got a account call for a pumper truck involved in an accident, so Daryl's going to be heading down there to handle that. It's a local deal. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be unloading this roller that was picked up over the weekend, and we're just going to drive it over to the Cat dealership, which is right down the street here. So we're going to unload it in the yard and then drive it over there. And then from there, we got a new camera system that we're putting in all the new trucks. Yeah, so that's what we got to do today, and I guess we'll see what else happens. So let's go ahead and get this truck fired up, and then we'll get it all unloaded and set up. I know you guys love this noise. So I'm going to show you guys how this remote works. I have it focused to the trailer, and hopefully you guys can kind of understand what's going on here. So there's a up button here, a down button here, and then axle ahead, axle back. So the first thing we're going to do is do tilt up. That's going to get the deck up. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll try to not block everything. Alright, so notice how the deck's going up. So we're going to want to get that right above the top deck, so right about there. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to hit axle ahead. That's going to bring the axles forward on the trailer. Now, something to keep in mind is that the red valve, the trailer valve, emergency brakes are released. So the trailer brakes are released for the operation of this trailer. Okay, so as you can see, the axles are moving forward. So what I'm doing right now is I'm watching up here. Watch where my antenna's pointed. I'm watching up here to watch the lift of that of this plate right here. If the fifth wheel plate begins to lift up, that means I need to go higher. So I already know I'm probably gonna have to go higher. So we'll go ahead and do that now. I'm also watching my winch, make sure that doesn't tighten up too much. All right, so now that that's up high, we're gonna go axle ahead. Axles are coming forward. Now the deck is about to touch the ground right now, which is good. We want that deck on the ground as soon as possible. And now that the deck's on the ground, we can start tilting down. That's gonna put weight back onto the fifth wheel plate. So once we're about level with the top deck, we can stop tilting down and we'll run the axles all the way forward. So basically this trailer and all landalls are, it's a constant battle between, when you're loading and unloading, you need to tilt up high enough. When you tilt up, you're putting more weight on the fifth wheel plate here. And if you don't put enough weight, what'll happen is these trailers have the safety mechanism built in where the trailer lifts off the fifth wheel plate. And the reason that happens, and you probably see me do it a few times because sometimes it is hard not to do it, but what happens happens is that's a safety mechanism so that it doesn't actually lift the drive tires off the ground, because if that happens, the drive tires are the only thing that have brakes on the whole unit. So if the drive tires get lifted off the ground, you could very easily roll down a hill or something like that. So the old school trailers, like the one I'm standing on right now, that's how they did it. Back in the day, these would roll away on you.
Brake on?
That's why I leave it. I'm gonna take it off if I get real dirty.
It's too nice to be working in it. It's nice, I like it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I knew today was gonna be a little chilly, so I was like, I don't want to wear it. Okay.
You want more?
Costco. Up we go. It's gonna take me 10 minutes to get there. Gotta get all the camera angles. Ow! Okay, we're up here in the seat. We're going to put the key in right there. There we go. Turn the key on, let it do its cycle, wait to start engine. First thing we're going to want to do is take this dial right here. We're going to want to turn it down. That's doing our speed control, and that's going to turn it down so that this right here, this handle isn't as sensitive as it can be, so we don't put this thing off the trailer. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start it. We're going to honk at Tozy. Hey!
Horn blows, how about the driver?
Okay. Warm up in process. We'll let it do its thing. Yeah.
Oh, I can do 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah, I know, right? The rate this thing drives. Alright, so, like I said, pull this back, that's how we start moving. And then over here, we have this dial that we turn. So as you can see, it starts cranking the back end over. Now that's angled back that way. I always like to get myself in that direction before I go into forward. So we're not turning the drum on the concrete without moving. Now we're in forward. So we're doing a solid 0.9 mile an hour. We can turn the speed dial up, get our speed control up. Remember, a roller has absolutely no suspension, so this is going to be a pretty rough ride all the way over there. I mean, it's not far, but so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take this just right across the street. It's on the other side of this building to Cat, and then we'll see it when we get back here to the yard. Alright guys, today kind of ended up kind of weird because I spent all day installing these cameras and it's kind of boring to show you guys how those are installed. And I'd kind of just rather keep it private, to be honest with you. So while I was doing all that, Darl took and went and took the Freightliner Cascadia and hooked up this like stake bed truck, and that is going to Vista, California, near San Diego. Also, I did a quick call in the white Peterbilt. I just went and moved a trailer over at Cat Entertainment. Additionally, the Blue Pete over there is for sale. That truck will no longer be able to be used come January 1st. Lastly, check out this rotator. Alright, so I did something and I used this stuff called Dura dressing, and look at how those tires look. It's a permanent tire shine, again called Dura dressing / Dura coating. I will put the link in the description. So far I'm pretty impressed with this stuff. So what this is it's a tire dressing, but unlike other tire dressings, completely dry to the touch. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but normally what would happen if you did that, it would be like black and it would be wet, much like this tire right here. This tire has my normal tire dressing. See? Got this like sheen of oily substance. This is completely dry to the touch. It's a whole chemical that goes on this tire. You have to strip down the tire completely bare, you have to use this really strong cleaner to get off all the old tire shine. But once you put this new coating on, the Dura coating, man, it sure looks good. So I did the whole truck in that. Took me about 4 hours to do the whole truck with all the prep work and everything. But man, it looks good. So the real test is gonna be a winch out, get the tires all dirty, and then spray it off. The whole concept of this is that since it's dry, if dust gets on the side of the tire, all you gotta do is spray it off, brush it off, and once the tire is dry, it'll look exactly like this, so they claim. So we're gonna go ahead and test that out and see how that works. Again, actually I never even said it, but this is not an advertisement or anything. I paid for this product with my own money. So no like endorsement on that. Just something I want to try. So far so good. I'm liking it. Alright guys, so the day is over. It's 4:30. Our guys get off at 4 o'clock and then the next shift comes in. Stayed a little bit late to hand out some paperwork and whatnot. But what we're going to go and do is head home, and I'm going to show you guys what that 3D print was all about that I showed you in the beginning of the video. Basically what I did is I bought a 3D printer and I'm going to design, basically for fun, learn how to use Fusion 360 to design stuff. And my first, I didn't design this one, I actually downloaded it off of Thingiverse, a like 3D website. And what it is it's a mount to hold your M18 Milwaukee batteries. So I have like 4 spare batteries in the rotator, and what I want to do is mount these brackets to hold the batteries in place on the in the rotator. So we're gonna go ahead and go home, and hopefully that print didn't mess up. It was like 50% complete when I left it this morning. So hopefully it's not all screwed up. We'll go ahead and go home and check it out and see what we got. So the plan for tomorrow is we're going to deliver this trailer here, or not the trailer, the stake bed to Vista. That's gonna leave at like 7 a.m. And then the only 2 cameras that me and Mark have to install are in this Kenworth here and in the white Peterbilt here. So that's on the to-do list tomorrow, is get those 2 done. I got a few 90 days and a few services to do tomorrow, and yeah, that'll be it. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so it'll be a pretty relaxed day, I think, until probably later in the night where people start traveling to their to get where they need to go. So we'll go ahead and head home, like I said, and I'll show you that 3D print. Alright guys, so we're back home now. This is the JG Aurora A5S 3D printer. And it's a relatively inexpensive printer compared to other things on the market. I think I paid like $350 for it. And what it's capable of doing is printing a relatively large print bed. And what I printed last night was these M18 battery holders that are capable of holding the Milwaukee M18 batteries. So what you have here is a mount that's spaced out properly for the battery. I have not test fitted yet, so hopefully it fits. And then you have 4 recessed screw holes that you're able to basically mount this bracket to whatever you'd like, whether it be like this, like this, like this, and this will securely hold the battery in place. So I printed 2 of them, and this is how they came out. Now, if you're not familiar with 3D printing, what happens is that you have an extruder, which is this guy here, and this extruder melts a roll of plastic, and this roll of plastic is right here. And what it does is it melts it down and it lays it down layer by layer. So like, for example, when I left this morning, this print was at like 50% and it was going for 6 hours. So I imagine this print took somewhere around the 12-hour mark for both these two. So it definitely takes a while, but the results are pretty impressive how it's able to do that. So the capabilities are pretty endless. There are a lot stronger materials than what I'm using. This is PLA, which is strong, but there's other materials that are stronger. Now your only downside is you can't print in metal, so it's not as strong as metal, but for plastic parts, it's pretty cool the amount of things that you can come up with. So I brought an M18 battery here, and let's go ahead and see how it fits straight out of the printer. Let's see, a little tight, so we'll have to probably sand it a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, it fits. It's just on there pretty good. So we'll probably have to sand it or lubricate it a little bit, but as you can see, it's on there pretty tight. Alright guys, so I actually just figured out a trick that I actually have never, honest to God, have never read on any forums or anything, but it worked really well, so I'm going to kind of share it and see what you guys think. So we have the plastic piece that I just showed you, and as you can see, it's pretty hard to get on, and then once you do get it on, it's like really hard to get off. And like to get it on all the way, like see, I cannot get it off by hand. I mean, I just did, but it's gonna be hard. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking a lighter and I'm literally putting it into here and melting, or at least not melting, but I guess heating up the plastic to let it expand a bit. And I actually did it one side at a time, so I got it nice and a little toasty, and then I put it on, and that heat expands the plastic quite a bit. So now that that's on, I let it sit there for a few seconds, let it cool down, and then we'll do the other side. And that actually loosens up the plastic quite a bit, it seems like. So yeah, we'll go ahead and repeat the process on this side. So let's just get it a little bit warm. Now that it's warm, slap it on. All right. So we'll let that sit for a second. Okay, now check it out. Honest to God, never read that anywhere, but it worked pretty well. So I don't know if it'll stay like that. Hopefully it will, but well, let's check. I did this one like 5 minutes ago. This is the first one I did. Fits a lot better. So cool. We're gonna mount those in the rotator probably tomorrow and check them out. So later.